Hello, everybody. Hello. Happy Tuesday. It's still Tuesday because I haven't gone to sleep yet, right? I'm just kidding myself. Anyway, hello and welcome. My name is Brenda Sellers, and I'm here in Knoxville, Tennessee. So, thank you for watching on Facebook and on YouTube and for supporting me in that manner. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm still celebrating our freedom, July 4th. America turned 250 years old this year and Christmas in July. So here we go. I've got it covered tonight. So, the project that we're going to make tonight, or whatever time it is you happen to be watching the video, I'm going to share my screen. Sorry, from after this point, you have to depend on the closed captioning. So hopefully you're watching it in one of those modes that will have captions on for you. All right. My desk is all covered with fun stuff. So here we go. We have paper from a Stitched Season Designer Series paper pack. And I want to work with these 4 little squares tonight. So I know that I've used this paper because I've used the other side of it. So we're going to start with this brand new one. Here are one of the bundles. It's called Stitched Stocking, Stamps and Dies. And then the other one is Merriest Tags, Stamps and Dies. It also includes the buttons and the ribbon if you happen to get the whole suite of product. All right, we're going to lay this over to the side. This piece is a piece of Peaceful Pine. It is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. Let's burnish that, and we're just going to lay it to the side tonight. We've got a little bit more stuff we want to do before we get going on the rest of it. This is a piece of pecan pie. It is 4 by 5.25. It also goes over here. This piece, we're going to wait to cut that as our background in a minute if we decide to use it. And then, so for right now, let's cut these 4 squares that I want to use. So we're going to line this up, not measuring, but we're lining it up in that groove. I want to get about the same amount on the right side as what is already printed on the left side. So it looks like it might be, let's say 3 7/8. So I've got it in the groove up here where I believe I want it. I'm looking at the paper trimmer at the bottom where it's a little closer to me and I can see it a little better and just cut it right up it. All right, and now we're going to twist it 90 degrees and we're going to do the same. And I want about the same amount on the bottom as there is on the top showing. All right, and that is going to layer on this. Oh, let's look at this for a minute. Nope, I've decided to use a piece of Peaceful Pine. And just in case you are watching this on the replay, which I'm guessing you are, by now, if you've caught the one on Facebook, you know there's no sound. So Brenda is doing a voiceover on this recording. So let's measure this piece. It looks like it's pretty square. Yep, it looks like it's about 3 7/8. So we need to cut our piece of Peaceful Pine a little bit larger than that. And it's going to go at, the Peaceful Pine is going to be 3 7/8. The Designer Series paper is about, oh, it looks like it's about 3.5. And we're going to stamp the sentiment right down here, and we're going to layer this up. All right, let's see what's next. I believe that green around it just did the trick. All right, let's grab our secret C. And yes, I know that's dangerous leaving that laying right there like we did last night. I think I want to start with this sentiment, the one that says, Merry Christmas to you and yours. Oh, wait. I think I'm going to change my mind and let's use the one that's a little more lengthy, a little longer and squattier. It says, May all your days be bright and merry. All right, let's use the piece of the shorter part for our stamp positioning tool. I'm going to line this up on one of the grid marks across it. When you first get your photopolymer stamps off of your plastic, go ahead and put it on a piece of cardstock or paper and then put it on your block, because once you lay it on your cardstock, it gives it a chance to relax because it kind of stretches it a little when you first get it off. So I've rubbed my fingers over that, so when I get ready to ink it up, it will pick up more of the ink. They tend to have some silicone in them. So right now I am putting my cardstock on my glass mat on one of the grid lines. All right, when we go to ink up our stamp, we don't want to smash it in. We just want to tap it. If you smash it, you wind up getting ink all over the block, or in this case, the stamp positioner tool. And now I'm going to line up the grid on my stamp positioner tool with the grid on my glass mat so I can get a straight line. Oops, sorry for my head getting in the way there. But see, you needed to see a little more Christmas. Looks like I scooted it up just a smidge, and then I decided, nope, didn't want that. Let's put it back down right on the grid lines. Okay, let's press it down, give it a good little rub, and there we have it. That stamped beautifully. Let's close this up before we wind up laying our hand or a piece of cardstock in it. All right, here we go. We're going to use Real Red again. And let's put this cute little stamp in the corners for the inside. So the cardinal on the outside is red. Let's draw some red to the inside of our project so we don't have a naked inside. And here I stamped all 4 corners. Side note, while I'm stamping this, I really can't believe I forgot to turn on the microphone. All right, looks like the project is done. If you've watched and listened this far, shoot me a little message or a thumbs up or a smiley. All right, let's add some adhesive to the back of this cardstock and let's start assembling our card. Let's try to make it have pretty equal borders on these 3 sides, and then it'll be fine on the middle. All right, there we go. And now here for this part. Some adhesive on the back of our designer series paper that's doing a lot of the work for us. Center it in this piece of Peaceful Pine. This is an absolutely gorgeous pack of designer series paper. My goal is to use every piece of it in a project this month. All right, let's put some adhesive on the back of the Peaceful Pine and give ourselves the same margins all around on both sides and the top. All right, give it a little rub. Let's grab our ribbon. It's time to tie a bow, which is some of my friends' favorite thing to do. I'm joking. All right, I always start with the tail of it on my desk to my right, pull it out, and then lay the spool also crossing over to my right. Um, my friend Chris reminded me to use my reversible tweezers that hold things tight for me so I get a tighter bow. So let's do that. And now let's tie our bow and we don't have to worry about how loose it's getting. All right. Looks like we've about got it. Well, maybe. All right, there it's tied. Let's grab some scissors and get it off of there. Looks pretty good to me. All right, now let's slide that ribbon over to where we want it before we put any adhesive on the back of this. Okay, that looks good. I slid it up and it was showing too much green, so let's slide it back down. Our Peaceful Pine, if you want to be technical with the colors. All right, let's add some adhesive and get it on our card front. I always try to add a little bit of adhesive to the back where the ribbon is touching on the back, just so that it definitely holds it in place. Now on this, when you're putting your card front on your card base, as long as you've got it pretty equal in two corners, the other ones are going to line up. All right, and there's our card, and it doesn't have a naked inside. All right, that's it for this one. Have a great night. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.